Welcome one and all to the Who the Hell is Benny guide. So, who the hell is Benny? BAM! This is Benny. He's a one-man army and it is totally not by his choice. He slashes, he blasts, and he heals yeah. Some people may even call him Diluc Light, but I call him the best free-to-play option for pyro damage. So my first thoughts of Benny over here were, what? This isn't Diluc. Who the hell is this guy? Which is, quite reasonable. No one knows what Benny does. This guy. So, all I used to do was just send him out on expeditions, because of his Mondstadt passive. I thought, well, the game wants him to go out there, I might as well send him out there. But one day I decided to not send him out there, and I added him to my party. And guess what? I was pleasantly surprised. I kind of vibe with this crazy playstyle. But then I took it one step further and read into his story, to really understand the humble mind of Benny. And you know what? He kinda just wants friends. I think we can all relate to that. Our boy Benny over here is the sole member of the Benny Adventure team because his luck is so terrible that nobody could be around him for too long without almost dying. Now, I can't sympathize with the killing your friends part, but I too am known for really bad luck and oh boy, it can be bad. But looking past that, he's got high energy and he's a great component to your team, so I'm going to tell you how to build him so that you can see for yourself why you should add him. His primary attack, he's got usage of a sword. He hits a couple of times, and you can also hold it to multi-hit really quickly. Now his Benny Blast move is actually called Passion Overload, and it has a couple of stages. You can tap it for a quick slash, you can hold it for a short while to create a 2-slap flaming combo which launches enemies, and now you can chat it up and long hold it to perform a 3-stage slap attack that does pyro damage, and the final slam causes an explosion of Benny Blast, launching both Benny and his enemies away. Benny is not affected by the damage of this move, but it does a lot. His ultimate ability is called Fantastic Voyage, and this move is criminally underrated. Benny Boi jumps towards the enemy and slaps him, dealing a bunch of pyro damage and creating a circle. Now here's the kicker. Characters within this circle have a couple of bonuses. They heal up to 70% of their HP, and while they're at 70%, they gain bonus attack that scales off of Benny's base attack. What does this mean? It means he brings to the table damage, crowd control, healing, damage buffs, and the Benny Blast move, thus making him way better than Diluc. And this is not just because I'm a free-to-play and I don't have Diluc, and I've got Benny. Oh yeah, also I forgot to mention, he has a couple of passes that you unlock when you level him up. The first one of these is that it reduces the cooldown of Benny Blast 20%. The second upgrade is that while inside of his ultimate, the circle part, Benny Blast has a 50% reduced cooldown, and he is not launched back by the explosion. The final passive that you don't get from leveling, it's just there, is that expeditions within Mondstadt are completed 25% faster, but I wouldn't recommend sending him on expeditions because he's looking for friends, and if you send him out there, he'll be alone, and I'm not gonna say you're a monster, but... Thus, we get into the Constellations. They're great, but I don't play with them, and you don't have to either, but I'm gonna tell you them for research sakes. So the first constellation, his ultimate does bonus damage and no longer has an HP cap for the bonus damage of Benny's attack. Also, it increases the Benny attack by 20%. Second constellation, when Benny's HP falls below 70%, he gains an increase of energy recharge by 30%. The third number increases Benny Blast level by 3, also increases its max cap. Number 4, short holding passive overload, the Benny Blast move, has 2-stage attack, grants an additional attack and a lot more damage. The fifth constellation increases Fantastic Voyage's level by 3, also increases its max level cap. The sixth constellation is really good. So, sword, claymore, polearm wielding characters within Benny's ultimate gain 15% bonus pyro damage. Also, normal and charged attacks become pyro attacks. That's pretty good, man. Everything that I've told you thus far means that if you're not using Benny as a DPS, you could still use him as a damage supporter for your team. Just add him to your team. I mean, just look at him. Look at him. He just wants friends, man. I add him to my team. Come on. Come on. Okay, enough hold up. Let's get to the actual build. Weapon-wise, I use the Fillet Blade. It has a good active for big ol' burst, and its subset is attack percent, which fits Benny quite nicely. But you may also use weapons that grant energy recharge, like the Sacrificial Sword. What I'm recommending on weapons, the weapon front, is that you either have energy recharge or attack percent. If you have big boy 5-star weapons that you like to use, you may also use those. It's just I'm recommending these. As a free-to-player, I don't have 5 stars, so that's my word. The trickier part of the build comes in with the artifacts. I'm currently using a 2-set piece of Gladiator's Finale and the 2-set piece of Crimson Witch of Flames, because the Gladiator's Finale's bonus attack percent is really nice with Benny, and the bonus pyro damage is also really useful for Benny. But I am looking to upgrade the set into a fully 4-piece set of Flame Witch. But yeah, I don't have like infinite time or, you know, good luck, so I haven't got a full set yet. I can say though that with certainty, the stat you're looking for here is attack percent and energy recharge. Elemental Mastery is fine, crit damage and crit chance is also fine. You kind of want to avoid HP and defense, it's not really super useful. And while with your artifacts, you might not have a full set, I totally recommend maxing out your feather first, because that flat attack rate that all feathers have is really, really useful. Whew! Finally, we conclude this impromptu to our fellow adventurer lad, Benny. He's great, he's lovely, he has 2 dads, and he's also somebody that you shouldn't sleep on just because the Luke is there. Hopefully this guide was useful to shining the light on my boy Benny. I'm going to be using him in the future, and I hope you nerds do so as well. I'll also see you guys in the next video. But another thing before you go. I have a Discord and a Twitch that I use often enough, so stop by, and I'll yell at you about things I'm interested in. Yeah, sounds fun? Have a wonderful day!